Hey, hi all, welcome back to the channel again. Today we are going to discuss about pure and impure pipes, and we will learn the differences between them and how we can create a pure pipe and impure pipe in Angular, and how Angular treats pure and impure pipes while detecting the changes or running the change detection cycle. Let's understand about the pure pipe first. Pure pipes are uh, you know pipes which actually executes their transform method whenever Angular detects real-time changes. Okay, so what do I mean by the real-time changes? So as you all know that we need to pass an input value to every pipes. So Angular actually recalls the pure pipes whenever we change or Angular detects a change in the input value for that particular pipe. So what I mean is, whenever a pure pipe finds a change in its input value, then only it actually executes its transform method. But in case of non-pure pipes or impure pipes, it actually executes its transform method regardless of the value change. Okay, so it actually executes itself or its transform method in a normal change detection cycle as well. So these are the major differences between them, and the another difference is, you know the pure pipes are actually optimized for the performances because they avoid unnecessary re-execution of the transform methods, right? But in case of pure pipes, sorry, in case of non-pure pipes, they executes their transform method unnecessarily, without checking whether the input value has been changed or not, or they doesn't matter, actually they doesn't care about the input value change. They just executes their transform method whenever Angular change detection cycle runs. Okay, so these two are major differences. The first one is the execution wise, and the second one is execution wise or the behavior wise, and the second one is about the performance. So let's understand how both pure and impure pipes works. So let's understand the impure pipe first. So for that we will we have actually taken the example of the count pipe which we have created in the last video. So as you can see on the screen, we have these two buttons which are available inside the app component, and we have a change value button as well. So trigger change detection and the change value. While clicking on this button, it just creates a console log for us, so that Angular can run its change detection cycle, because you all guys know that whenever any change happens or any event happens in Angular application or in that particular component, Angular runs change detection cycle for that component and all its child components, okay, to check whether something has changed or not. So that's the reason we are actually explicitly triggering the change detection cycle for this component by clicking this button. And what this button is doing, this is simply logging the console, logging a message on the console. Okay, and this button, the change value, which actually changing the value in the real time, and it is also explicitly triggering the change detection cycle. But there is a difference over here between these two buttons. Here in the second button, we are real time updating the value. Now based on these two type of scenarios, let's see how the behavior of pure and impure pipes. Let's check for the non-pure first. So let's say pure is equal to false, right? So now this particular decorator has pure as a property, and if we do not give it, it creates a pure pipe for us. But if you pass false as an explicit value, as a value for this pure property explicitly, then Angular treats this component as a non-pure or impure component. Okay, so let's take an example of impure component now. So as you see, we have added a console log with the value, whatever input value we are sending to this pipe. So as you can see, we have an input value called input val, and which actually being passed to this pipe, and the value for this is available inside the app.ts. As you can see, 10,000 is available over here. And this button trigger change detection. So what it is doing, it is just console logging the change detection message itself, so that Angular can run change detection for this particular you know uh, component itself and all its child components. And here again we are triggering the change detection, but here we are logging the message, and as well as we are incrementing the value as well. So let's see the example of pure or impure pipes. So I'll just open a console window. So now as you can see, when I refresh it, initially it got called, and then after that again it got called, okay, because this is an impure pipe. Now let me clear the console and just hit on this button, the normal console log we are doing. So as you can see, it does the console log, and after that Angular change detection strategy runs, and it doesn't find any changes, but still it invokes, or the non-pure pipe invokes its transform method regardless of this value change, because we are not changing its input value over here. We are just logging this message. So let me click again. You see it has been called twice again. So every time it is getting called, right? So now let me click this once and click the change value now. Now you can see the value has been changed, and the same pipe got called twice with the changed value. Now again, if I click on this, you can see it again gets called with the old value, whatever we have changed over here, right? As you can see. Now again, I'll change the value. It will call again with the changed value, as you can see. But now if I does not change the value and click on this trigger, the normal, or the trigger the change detection cycle, you can see it is also getting called twice, right? So this is what I was trying to explain. The non-pure pipes invokes its their actually transform method regardless of value changed, whether it has been changed or not changed. It doesn't matter for them. They will invoke their transform method. So that's the reason it can cause performance related issues. Now let's take an example of pure pipes. Now to create a pure pipes, as I said earlier, if you do not wish to give this parameter value, then by default its value considered as a true, and our pipe will be treated as a pure pipe. But now for this example, let's give it explicitly as a true. Now this pipe is considered as a pure pipe by Angular. It has been called only once initially, right? As you can see over here. So I refreshed twice actually over here. So that's the reason it got called twice. Now let's change its value. So as you can see, the value has changed, and it has invoked its transform method only once, because value has been changed only once, and this value actually is getting changed only once. Okay, so as you can see over here, now when I normally trigger the change detection cycle without changing the value, only that change detection message is getting logged over here, and the transform method is not getting invoked, right? As you can see, the transform method is not getting invoked over here in case of pure pipes. And now when I change value, then only it is getting invoked. And you can see the value also getting changed in the UI as well. Because it got invoked, so that's the reason we are able to see the value change over here. Right? Now, again, I'll try to click on this trigger change detection button. So as you can see, the pipe is not getting called. So it will help us to, unnecessary calls of its transform method, because it will not, um, gets executed in a normal change detection, or it tightly couples with the input value whatever we are feeding to it, right? So if the input value changes, then only it will invoke its transform method. So this is all about it. Pure and impure pipes. Two major differences. First one is behavior. Behavior in the sense the execution of transform method, and the second one is performance related issues. It actually optimizes our performance, the pure pipes, and the impure pipes does not optimize our performance because based on their behavior, the execution of the transform method. So this is all about. And if you want to take an example of impure pipe, we have an example of impure pipe is nothing but async pipe. Okay, so we will learn about async pipe in upcoming videos, but that's an example of impure pipe itself. But for now, just keep in mind that whatever differences I told you regarding the behavior and the performance, right? So I hope you have liked this video. If you like it, so you can like it on the video, and then do not forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Thanks all guys. Let's meet in next video.